Good morning. Welcome to Fasting Space. So nice to have you here today. I hope you're doing well. Thought I'd dive in right at the end of the passage we're going to look at today. Here's how they end this section. The mountain is you. They say, at this point, you have a choice. You can make peace, or you can commit to changing. The lingering, it is what is keeping you stuck. And so, let's frame our thinking around that today. But before we do, just check in, say, how are you doing today? Are you staying warm? Or are you intentionally not staying warm after our session last week? Embrace the cold a little bit. Another avenue of bringing in some resiliency into the body. Making peace with the winter. Perhaps. Here we are. It's Monday, January 26th. We're here in this beautiful moment. An opportunity today, right here in this present moment, to move toward health. That's what I am going to say. Let's bring all of our thinking right here into this moment. I read the end of this passage first because I thought, it's easy to say, okay, we're in a health space, so we have to be, pushing ourselves toward health. We just want to do a check-in before we start. I think each of these options are completely valid. Make peace, make peace with not changing. There's a perfectly valid space to be. Commit to changing. Like, here's a really interesting line. We've said that at the beginning. What mountain are we trying to climb? Are we climbing the weight loss mountain? Is that the goal? I try to help as much as I can people to do that. Or is it something else? I've said something deeper, The top priority that I have for people. Find a mental space of peace and contentment. Absolutely. Enjoying some hot tea on this cold day. Hey, that is very nice. That is very nice. Enjoy that. I am enjoying just a little water today. I'm taking kind of a caffeine-free week, I think. No rules. I'm not, so dialed in on it, but it just is feeling like kind of the right thing to me. So for the time being, just embracing this simplicity, the water. Perfect. Water is like, it's as close to nothing as you can get, so. And still something. It's clear. So simple, so essential. I'm just embracing a little of that simplicity for the time being. Feeling good, trying to really bring the thinking down into the calmest level. That's my personal goal for this day. Make peace. This is what I'm saying. Can we make peace and don't have to change, right? Like, I love this sort of perspective. Like, everything is okay. You know what I mean? Like, everything is okay right now. Like, we don't have to change. We don't have to launch onto some giant course. We can just sit here right in this beautiful moment. Say it's Monday. We're launching out a week. We're here in a space. Nothing has to change. Doesn't have to be any pressure. Like, isn't this good enough? Like, this is like what finding contentment is about. Just find beauty in this moment right here. And so that's the one side of it. Make peace or commit to change. The thing, as I was thinking about it this weekend, I'm reading slowly through this book, stepping through it. I say, well, we're trying to come to a place of peace. Say, when I sit in this space, maybe we aren't having it, We're saying, like, not really. Am I finding alignment? Like, when it's just myself, we say I don't have to change. But then when you really drill down, do you really want to? That's the space. That's where we started out this series with a book, The Mountain Is You. And even before that, we say what the most important question in weight loss. Remember, we did that session. What do I really want? Like, to really drill down into it. What do I really want? We're sitting here, we're coming back into that same type of space. We're saying there's no rules. Remember, we did that session, no rules for weight loss. Just open space, options. Now we're sitting in this space saying, okay, finding peace and contentment in a present moment, no pressure, don't have to change. Finding just peace enough. But then if we sit in that space, like we're saying, remember we use a metaphor. We're like looking at the mountain. We can just hang out in the base camp. Maybe we're just having a relaxing vacation, just looking at the mountains. Don't have to climb. But do you want to, Are you in a space? You're like, I want to do it. Is the path of committing to change, is that actually the thing that brings the most peace? Like the writer is saying. Like, to be stuck in the middle, where it's like we're not really at peace, but we aren't really diving deep either to change. We're kind of stuck in the middle. Do you ever feel that way? It's like, it's hard to commit really to change. But if that is what is in alignment with the being, do you feel it? Then it's hard to make peace with a situation. If you really want to change, but you're struggling to do it, that's kind of stuck in that space. I would say there's a high probability if you're coming to this space, that there's something in there, right? It's like that deep down you're like, no, I really do I want to climb, I want to do it. No pressure, come to fasting space, just hang out. Like, nobody has to do anything, But then we will dive in, we will do the thinking here, try to advance the thinking. So how do we actually do it? If you say, okay, I've committed to change, I'm doing it, I'm walking the path. So we say we want to reinforce and support that. You say, no, I'm stuck in the middle. It's like, how do we flip that switch into that space? Or you say, you know what? I'm just good here in this space. See, everything is all good. Everything is all good. I just want you to feel that. Very hard to feel that myself personally. These days, hard to find a space like that, right? In the world, everything is crazy. And you say it's easy to feel overwhelmed or angry, frustrated. We did the session letting go of anger. Man, just... I keep this little book by me. Mini little book. Have you ever seen it? Open Your Mind, Open Your Life. A little book of Eastern wisdom. Christy is here. Good morning. Hello. Welcome. So nice to see you. Hope you are well. Hope you are staying warm on the chilly morning. Little book of Eastern wisdom. I got this a couple years ago. Tiny little thing. One of these days I thought I should do a little series on, it's just you know how I love quotes. I love to share little quotes. This is a book of like 100 little quotes. There, I found it right away. This is the one I was looking for. Let go of anger. That's what we're saying. Let go of anger. It is an acid that burns away the delicate layers of your happiness. Easier said than done, and especially these days, like just look at society these days, look at the anger and think of that. If we got all these words I love, delicate layers of happiness, very fragile, very easy to dissolve away in the acid of anger, and isn't that what is happening? I mean, I could just honestly, this book, you know, it's so tiny. It's just all these things. All the quotes just flow together, though. I wasn't even meaning to pick this up. I just said, let go of anger, and then I thought of this one. Maintain your composure under any circumstance. That's the first one that comes out of this one. Let go of anger. Maintain your composure under any circumstance. And then the next one, live in a way that leaves no regrets. Do you see how each of these just flows together? Because don't we have it? If we get angry, we've burned through the layers of our happiness, we didn't maintain composure. That's living in a way we often regret, right? And then it ends, this little micro page ends with, seek to understand your mistakes so that you may never repeat them. So that is a beautiful collection of four thoughts, all flowing out of that spot. Let go of anger. Gonna happen though, we can see it's a mistake. It's like we want to understand it so that we can get out of it. Let go of it, move on, learn from it, use it as a stepping stone on our process. Okay. I might spend some more time just sitting with that little book. It's been so helpful to me. How are you doing on that spectrum? What do you say between making peace with the way things are versus committing to change versus feeling in the middle? Does any of these resonate more than the other? All of them good, except like the middle one, that's the one, is it the best, you know? I think it's okay for a while. That's the state we've described, like walking along the river, you know, where it's like you're kind of in the middle. You're just checking things out. You're checking ideas out. So that's a fine space to be for a while, but don't necessarily want to stay there forever. Kind of got to jump on one side or the other eventually. So this reading, so we started at the end first, and so how do we get to that place? It's just 2 pages, but we step through it. Really, this section, you know what they're saying, they're implying here in it, like, that really you do want to change. And I just said that first because I just want people to realize, like, it's okay. Nobody has to change, and no pressure for any timeline. Making peace with things and deciding not to change is perfectly fine if it is the path for you, you know? If the mental health is the top priority and the way to do it is by saying, I've just got to sink into just accepting things, it's fine. But they say here, how do you actually do it? Like, what if you're stuck in the middle? You say, I really want to change, but I don't know how to do it. They say you're going to have to get real with yourself. That's what they say here. Listen to how they say to do that. You're going to have to decide that you love yourself too much to stop settling for less than you really deserve. See, that's a pretty deep sentence, right? Do you love yourself too much? You could dive into that for quite a while even, right? Do we even love ourselves? And what does that mean, and what does it look like? That's a space you could just, sit in for quite a while. We think of a path of change, okay, as difficult, right? But what is the difficulty? Is the difficulty just learning how to be more kind and loving to ourselves? See, this is the kind of path that doesn't sound quite so intimidating, does it? Does it or does it not? Maybe in a time or place it does. The mindset, though, that I'm thinking of, we said in the last week in the session, we got a drill sergeant in the mind here. Is that the way we treat ourselves? Always the taskmaster is hitting hard, saying you got to do this. Look at this perspective, though. It's the real path, developing greater love and kindness for ourselves. They say if you think that you are not being your authentic self, you might be right. I like that word, might. Maybe, maybe not, but what do you think? How does that sit? I'm thinking about it. Myself, are we being our authentic self means, are we showing love and kindness to ourselves in the most powerful way? Showing real love to someone, right, isn't just telling somebody things that they want to hear. It's truthful, right? Love and truth, very connected, right? If we're trying to do a deep introspective path, committing to change, moving powerfully on a health path, right? We need things that are true to do that. And we need things that are loving and done in a loving way so that they can become sustainable. They say here, it doesn't serve us to use endless affirmations to placate our true feelings about where we are in our journey. That's the path to getting stuck again. We're trying to get unstuck, right? If you're ever feeling stuck. Big tendency in this culture, right? Just, endless affirmations. These are sticky spots to walk, because always look how I started out, how we're saying everything is okay. This is a big thing. Making peace. Everything is okay. So you can give yourself endless affirmations. Sometimes I say hey, everything is okay. I do like that. It's okay, but when we're saying maybe the true path to peace is through the change, maybe we say we're not finding peace in this space, We're saying I'm not really resonating in true health and wellness in this space. Something in life needs to change. There's definitely a step that needs to be taken. Endless affirmations, the negative side of it can be just always telling ourselves everything is okay when we know it isn't, or when we know it could be better. And we say, actually, I want something more out of this experience. Just telling ourselves oh, it's okay, you don't have to change. Then that can be not helpful. We're really finding a balance between these two things. That's why I thought it was so interesting to frame our discussion that way. Make peace or commit to change, and saying both can be okay in the right moment. But then this is the shift. We're saying, no, I really want to dial in on the change. I really want to change something, move in a direction where we are powerfully moving. So maybe an endless affirmation is not what I want. If it's not true, especially. Like if we've come to understand, no, it's not true. Everything is not quite okay. We are going to make a change. And things will really be okay then, perhaps. Maybe we're juxtaposing two things at once. Things are okay and they will be okay and they can be better, you know? Why doesn't an affirmation work? Because deep down we know we are not quite being who we want to be, if that's the truth. If we say we are, see, then we find contentment there. But if we drill down and we say, oh no, I don't think I quite am. I think who I really am is this, right? That's the change process. We don't want positive affirmations to facilitate denial. That's the big thing here. If positive affirmations are true and we sit in a space because we say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need, then there's no denial. But like if you've decided in your heart, like, hey, I know there is a healthy path. I need to be taking this steps. We don't want to use affirmations and just tell ourselves okay when it is not in alignment with what we want. That's the path of how we get out of that space, recognizing denial, choosing not to do it. That's the analogy I've used a lot, like look in the mirror, right? Look in the mirror. The first step to healing anything is taking full accountability, no denial. Look at the honest truth. How are you feeling about it? Say it's not okay to be constantly stressed, panicked, or unhappy. Say something is wrong in that moment. The longer you try to love yourself, in quotes, love yourself out of realizing that, the longer you're going to suffer. The greatest act of self-love is to no longer accept a life you're unhappy with. State your problems plainly and in a straightforward manner. The first step to unrooting and transforming it. That is the step toward real change. Yeah, I like that, taking accountability for it. We're trying to do that deeply on this channel, right? It's like, from one perspective, you could say, you know, nobody else gonna come to help us, right? Nobody really can, in like the sense of like, we ultimately have to make the decisions that resonate the most with us, right? No one can make our deep decisions for us. Try to find people along the journey to help us. Absolutely, we can do it. Try to be most helpful to ourselves, though. Take a piece of paper and a pen and write down everything, very specifically the problems you face. They go through a bunch of examples. If it's finances, like write out everything, every debt, every bill, every asset, right? That's like taking an inventory of the situation, right? I like to take that sort of mindset, say, let's take a health inventory, right? Write it all out, you know? We've got a mountain we're facing. Have we written it out? Like, what do we know about it? What is the struggle? What is the process? What are the challenges? Like, take the inventory. Like, just like you're going to do a financial inventory. It's like, take a health inventory right now. And that's how we get back to where we started. This is the step to get out of denial and into clarity about where you are. And this completes our circle, right? At that point, you have the choice. Make peace or commit to changing. The lingering is what will keep you stuck. So I really liked that passage. I like that reading. Do you like it or do you not like it? You don't have to like it. It's okay. Let me know. Where are you at with it? Here we are. Do you feel it? We're just flowing through 2026 already. January going to be coming to a close. We're just powering through the week. It's like 1 month already of our 26. We were just doing our little New Year's celebration, planning out for 2026. And what did we even say? I set goals like leaner, stronger, wiser. Love that. Are we on that course? Hopefully. I'm just listening to these tunes. I got Kulu on. Gently in the background as I'm reflecting on this. Make peace. I tell you, it's easier to lean into the make peace side. Listening to this guy's beautiful trumpet, that's what I say. Change the or to with. Make peace with committing to change, you know. Make peace and commit to change. Doesn't it? They set it up as this either or. That can work, but it can also be both. Find peace through committing to change. Recommitting to change, doubling down on the change, wherever you're at with it. Make peace by deepening our commitment to change. Being the change that we want to see. You unhappy with the way the world is, you know? Be the change that you want to see in the world. Letting go of anger, right? Let go of it. So easy to, everybody angry these days, right? But are we angry ourselves, right? We can't control everybody else, but can we let go of it, right? What will that do for our spirit? What will that do for our process of being lighter, for walking down our path? You think of the session we did, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the other day, listening to Martin Luther King, and then he's quoting Gandhi, right? That's Gandhi. Be the change that you want to see in the world. I want to see this world healthier, We want to be healthier ourselves. I want to see this world less violent, more kind and loving, like showing kindness and love to ourselves first, filling ourselves up in that space, shine it out into our family, friends, communities. One day at a time. Here's the opportunity to do it today. Deepen the commitment to change in ourselves, sending that out into the world in the best way that we can. Using that process, to me, help us find meaning and purpose through everything that we're doing. I wish you the very best in that process today. Step forward in health. I have plans to do a lot of thinking on these topics today. I will look forward to sharing some more of that thinking with you tomorrow, and we'll take another step forward in health together. Have a great day, everybody.